Hi everyone, Omer from CASPORTS. Today I just want to post a video because I have seen a lot of requests coming in for bat knocking. At the same time, there is a confusion about knocking and pressing of the bat, which I'm going to talk about in this video. So first thing, we'll take an example of bat knocking using this CA plus 20K Morgue edition bat. Somebody bought it recently. So if you're buying a bat through a good manufacturer, nowadays all the bats are pressed. So what I mean by press is they press the wood so that we don't need to do intense amount of knocking. And you can actually feel that when you tap your nail, you would feel if your bat is pressed that it's really formed. The wood is very formed, pressed. It's like you will not feel any hollow noise, you will feel more firm noise. So that's an indication the bat is pressed. Sometimes even like if you use a ball mallet, you can see if you're getting the ball marks, then it means your bat may be pressed, but at the same time it needs a bit of knocking. So whenever you start seeing ball marks, you would have to knock the bat. But because the bat is pressed with machine, you do not need 4 or 5 hours of knocking. If it's a good manufacturer like CA or any other brand who are pressing the bats, you just need to do 1 hour or hour and a half maximum knocking, and your bat is ready to play. If your bat is not pressed, and obviously that means it is very soft below, so you will have to knock the bat and you'll have to do more practice session in the nets before you can even use the bat. But anyway, the point is, how do we knock the bat? I'm going to focus more on the bat which is pressed, and how to do knocking on those kind of bats. So this bat is pressed, but it does need a little bit of knocking. It probably need maximum hour and a half. But when we knock the press bats, the focus area needs to be the edges, because we want to fold the edges so that it does not crack, and the bottom piece. This piece maybe a little bit, but this is already ready. You get nice ping. The reason you're getting nice ping because the bat is already pressed in most cases. So the focus area would be your edges for knocking and edging, and then the toe piece, because the chances of new bat breaking is mainly from the toe or cracks, because it's kind of a little bit thin. In this case, because this is the Morgue edition, the toe is very, very thick. It's extra thick toe, so this actually decreases your chances of toe getting cracked. But anyway, so what we have is, I have this little foam type sandpaper. I think this is 120, 150 grit. So what you need to do is you need to actually rub gently, very gently, like this. And the intention is to remove the wax, because if you do not remove the wax, the oil that you need to do after this will not go inside the wood. So if I do this, and I also need to do this from the sides, like this, maybe a few times. And once this is done, you will notice the wax coming out. So once the wax is out, your bat is ready to be oiled, because we want to make sure we oil the bat, let it stay for 6 hours before we start knocking. So in next step, what I'm going to do is, I'll take a piece of cloth. It's a piece of cloth, cotton, and then I'll take raw linseed oil. You can also use boiled linseed oil. The only benefit of using boiled linseed oil is it's less greasy, so you can wait 2 to 3 hours and you can start knocking. With raw linseed oil, you have to wait 6 to 10 hours, depending on how fast oil is being absorbed. So let's take a look at this. So I'll do this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to oil the bat. As you can see, it's right now pure white. So the color will change eventually to a little bit brown this type. And we don't see how much oil I took. I just literally took 3 to 4 drops of oil. We don't want to over oil the bat. Let it sink in. And then we also take this and just slide through the edge, not to the side, but through the edge, like that. Okay. Now I'm gonna examine that. Okay, the oil is in. I'll take a little bit more of oil, the same quantity, and I'll rub it again. So 1, 2, that's it. As you can see, there's not much I'm taking. So I'm gonna do this again. Take the cloth, apply the oil, and let it sink in, and then do the edges as well. Just the edges, not the sides completely. And then if you do not have toe guard, you can also oil the toe. I will also recommend oiling the shoulders because a lot of bats break from here. So just like this, just slide it like this. That's it. And now we need to let this guy stay flat on its back, the way I'm showing on a table or somewhere, for like at least 6 to 10 hours. Once it sinks in, so once you come next day or maybe the same day, depending on when you want to knock it, you will see that the oil will have dried. So right now it's very greasy because it's still sinking in, but it will be dry after 6 to 10 hours. Most likely within 8 hours it will be dry. Once it's dry, what you would do is, because this bat most likely need hour and a half or hour knocking, so we will start knocking, and then we will oil it again, and we'll do the last round of knocking after the second oiling. So let's assume we have oiled the bat. This is ready. The oil has sunk in, and now it's ready. So the way I would knock, I would focus on the toe, and I would focus on the edges. So how do we do edges is following. So we hold the bat like this, and very gently what I'm doing, I'm hitting the edge, but I'm not hitting like that. I'm skidding. I'm slipping my mallet so that my edges does not break. So I'm slipping my hand, so it's like skidding. As you can see. Very gently. And then next what I want to do is, with the same speed, same force, I will roll this in. So I'll hit like this very gently. So what I've done is I've rolled the edges. First I did step 1, which is hitting the bat in such a way that my mallet is slipping or skidding the edges, and then hitting directly on the edges gently so that it kind of rolls inside the bat. We need to do the same thing on the left hand side. But for left hand side, I would always hold the bat like this because it's difficult to do it from the handle. So I will do the same thing. I don't know if you can see this is a brand new bat, so right now edges are very sharp, and I'm doing the edges. So see how it's shaping up. And then same thing, hit gently, rolling the wood inside the edges. So you repeat this process most likely. Do 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, and you can judge yourself how round you need the edges to be. Once this is done, then you can start the focus area, which is your blade. I would first do the bottom piece, which means I would focus on the toe. For toe, hold the bed like this. You don't need to hold it from the handle, because when you hit from the handle, you're not transferring force from your mallet, because it won't be making a lot of difference. I prefer holding it like this, so that I'm transferring my hand force from the mallet easily. So I would just hit like this, gently, skidding as well, slipping my mallet. And if needed, you can always hold from the handle and do it. See that the impact, you may be able to see the impact and the knocking in process happening right now. I don't know how effective the view is. And then repeat this process for like half an hour, and then you can also you can also knock the rest of the blade. The rest of the blade is pretty much knocked, ready to use, but we still want to knock it anyway slightly. You start gently and then you can increase the force. So start from up, go down, come back up, go down, up and down. So that's pretty much it. You do this for half an hour, 45 minutes, day one, after the oil has sunk in. And then what you need to do is you need to oil the bat again, let the oil sink in for next day, and then again repeat the same process for 30-45 minutes. So in total you're doing hour or hour and a half of knocking, and then your bat is ready to be used in the game or in the nets. I would prefer to go in the nets first. It's a new bat, you want to feel the bat first before you start using it. And then at the same time, if you feel you need to put the scuff sheet, not necessarily on the new bag, you can put the scuff sheet, or you can put the edging tape if required. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Stay in touch. Follow my Facebook and Instagram, and keep an eye on new products and postings on Facebook and also on our website at ib-sports.com. Thank you.